Greetings. What's up, y'all? This is BNA. What's up, y'all? This is BNA Community Hangout. Today's date is the 12th of September, 2022. We got some friends going to join us. We got She Bites in the building. We got Mr. Rectangle. Definitely, I'll invite y'all up. We have invited a number of community members. And, you know, the thought came to mind, as it does periodically, like we should be talking about, you know, what does this community thing mean to us? What does the networking mean to us? So definitely our good friends, you know, it's something worthwhile talking about and considering. So definitely send, jump up. Actually, I'm just going to send an invite to She Bites. In about an hour, we're going to have at Black. Hey, She Bites, how are you?
Hey, what's up, Symbolic? How are you?
I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good. It was it's hectic days, but hectic is good. You know, let's go. Greetings, welcome, y'all. Yeah, Ness Rocks is in the house. So like we're talking about, we got the oh my gosh, I'm just drilled in my head, this Tech Misfits. That's one of our communities, but we've got the Meta Knights in the building. We got Kilobytes in the building. We got Mr. Rectangle, and see if we got, send some invites, anyone else from these communities that come to mind. I see Cope sent a request. It's Rectangle. I got y'all. Word. I might normally have thrown a track on that we can listen to, but I'm out in New Brunswick, further east than normal, and than I normally am in Toronto with family out here. If you don't know, this is Symbolic. Oh yes, of course we got Onaji. There you are. I'm going to send you an invite as well. In about an hour, we're going to have at Black jump on. They are actually sponsoring a number of people to go to NearCon in Lisbon. And so we're going to get, you know, we'll wrap that into our conversation, but definitely I want to hear from these different communities. I always say that these are fluid communities, and you know, we got to go out, make our moves, do what we're doing, but we always support one another. We learn and grow with each other. So I think it's a really when we talk about the Meta Knights, that's like a seasoned community. So I'd love to hear Ness Rock as well as Mr. Rectangle, aka Dave, speaking about some of that, like what's the experience. What's the laugh? That's not funny. That is true talk. Like, yo, that was, it actually makes me think about Afro Droids as well, because it was going back, you know, that was some early energy. So yeah, let's just start to open it up. People will jump in when they jump in. But yeah, oh, Naji, yo, jump on stage. I'm going to send you an invite as well. And I'm going to also send, oh my gosh, I'm going to try. It's so easy to just like wimp out on this. Usangi ma ingan. Usangi ma ingan. Did I say that right? Anyways, jump up on stage and correct me. It is no disrespect. I I just want to say it right, but yeah, it takes working on it. So yeah, I see Dave, you're on stage. How are you doing?
What's up, Symbolic? How we doing, brother?
Pretty good. It's crazy over here, but we're just maintaining, keeping it moving.
Hey, Ness. Hey, Sheena.
Hey, Greg, what's up?
I'm all good. Listen, you can't talk Symbolic. You can't talk community without talking Shoelace Gang. Don't forget to throw that up in there.
True that. The Shoelace Gang, the first place where we connected, really. So you're right about that. I haven't seen Tayo in a minute, man. How is Tayo doing?
Out there painting e-babes in real life.
In real life, okay.
Yeah, she's expanding her craft. Definitely doing IRL paintings and prints and stuff like that. We're proud of her.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, so let's start off. What communities do we have in the house right now? Anyone who's not on stage, if you're repping a community, we want to have this conversation. I'd say BNA friends, but that extends out. Like even, I think probably. Oh yeah, I didn't get that correction. I'm gonna do it one more time, and then you're gonna correct me and tell me how wrong I said it. Wisangi ma ingan. Wisangi ma ingan. Okay, that was my try. Now you tell me.
Hey, Bushu, thanks for having me come up here. I love that y'all are having this space. So I'm going to hop down to listener so I can just share my love with y'all. But we, or what? You can say wasagi.
Wasagi?
Yeah, wasagi maingan.
Maingan. Wasagi?
Yeah, you had the last part perfect.
Wasagi maingan? Or is it wa ingan?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Wasagi maingan. Yeah, perfect. You're amazing.
Thank you. You're too kind. Yeah.
No, it's good. We'll keep practicing each other's names, because these are our identities. So if we take a minute, like I do this too, like we got to take a minute sometimes. So I appreciate you for having this moment with me.
I appreciate your patience. Thank you so much.
Oh, I appreciate you. So much love to you and everybody who's speaking up here. Just a beautiful human. So I'm going to pop down to listener, but y'all have so much love from me.
Thank you. Thank you for jumping up for sure. Thank you. Love is reciprocated. So yeah, y'all, Onaji, we'd love to hear your voice. Yeah, just to start it off, I guess, how about we just say like, what is community to you? We got Tayo in the building. Definitely jump up if you can. Onaji, same thing. I want to ask, because like I said, in about an hour we're gonna have Black at. They've got some announcements, and so we're gonna go into that. So I wanted to just get us into talking about like what is this community thing? Like, has it evolved over time for us? Because there was the way back, it was kind of like, oh, there's this realization is about community. But me personally, I feel like some people took that and kind of, it was just marketing, like people say, oh, it's about community, and it's really their translation of community is the new word for marketing. And I don't think that's what it's about in our extended communities. I don't think when it comes to kilobytes, it's not like, oh, my community, and you could just switch out the words for marketing. Same thing, BNA, same thing, Meta Knights. No, it's more than that. Mr. Rectangle, I know it's more than that with heads who are here. So I just want to start off the conversation in terms of what community means to us, and what does that have to do with like our networks? What if any observations any of us have had? Anyone have any thoughts? Want to start that off? I have to call names, huh?
I can jump in. Also, what's up, Tayo? Jump up, Tayo. Tayo's painting. I would say community definitely has a lot of different definitions, but I think in my own perspective, I think it's finding that network of people that you can trust. And I use the word trust lightly because you really can't like actually trust much of like everyone. You can't trust everyone, but sometimes there's some people who have proven character. And there's always like reputation when someone deals with a lot of different people. They kind of have a reputation in the space. If someone does someone dirty, it does like get around eventually. So there are some people who have proven to be upstanding characters. And I'll say that Dave, Mr. Rectangle, is one of those people. And I would even say yourself, Kwame, too. You've been around, you've interacted with a lot of people, and we haven't heard any dirt. There are some people that we've heard like, okay, don't do business with this person, or like if you are, make sure you have a contract, like this, that, and the third. So I would say community is you've found this network of people, you kind of know them a bit, and you know that if it's for advice or some type of counseling or just showing your art or just anything like that, you know that you can rely on certain folks. Yeah.
I love that. The fact that, this track record. And I think it's also what you say makes me think, when this wild stuff happened, when people met up in person, like that's some strange part of what's going on with this whole online community. Like we get a sense of people, but then this is the digital sense. I like to think of it like a mask, like people are hiding behind their icons, and when you then meet up in person, it's only certain, to use the term, communities like that, oh, I remember listening to the what was it, the Rise program, and it was like Hanno, Black Dave, like a whole bunch, Tayo, like those heads that rolled up in person, and I didn't get to go. I think it was in Atlanta. Anyone who was there? Tayo, you were there, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yo, big ups and respects, Tayo. Thank you for being here for sure. Yeah, so like that connection and being there in person, whereas there's the think it was NFT NYC where we started hearing about some not right stuff. I don't even remember the details, but it was like, nah, the culture wasn't right. So I don't know. It just comes to mind that there's this connection, people connecting and seeing who we really are when we're not necessarily behind a mask. But I think that with certain movements, there's, let's say, to bring up the meta nights, like when you hear about data literacy, data sovereignty, and how the stories reflect the real world, how our data is really at risk and people are selling our data, using our data. Oh, I see 40 acres. That's another community. We'd love to have you up here to continue this conversation, because we're really talking about communities, what we've observed in this time that we've been in these online communities. And I was just going to say, like, I'd be super surprised if I have someone that's talking. Let me just prove you up here. I need to, like, She Bites, you down to co-host? Can I give you co-host so you can help with that?
Sure.
Yeah? All right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so that just came to mind, like that, when people are talking about caring about certain things, like same thing, Mr. Rectangle, with participate to earn, thinking of like truly our situations that we're in. We're not a bunch of like, we're not all, have all kinds, what is it called? We're not all whales, really. For the most part, we're not whales. We're trying to carve our way. So the things that we care about, the things we put time into, I think once we do meet in person, we're more likely, I venture to say, more likely to like, we get the vibe of who the people we are. And so about the Rise program, seeing people connecting to me was like, it was really something to observe, but that was still from a distance. I eventually ended up meeting a number of people from the community here in Toronto, but not, I wasn't able to actually connect at NFT NYC for Air Canada reasons. I won't go into all that. Yo, sorry, I'm seeing a message from Resty. Bianca's in the house. I didn't get a request yet, but let me find Bianca. Bianca, do me a favor and send me an invite because I'm not. I don't know if it's one of the names that are different in terms of on the if your handle is different. You know how it goes sometimes. But yeah, Resty, I'm not. I'm having trouble with that, so
I
I
can
apologize.
back off of what you're saying, symbolic, while you figure that out.
What's that? Sorry.
I said I just wanted to add to what you were saying, what you figured that out. As
Yeah.
far as community, I think it's so apt that you're having this conversation because you, I don't know if you know, but you were the first kind of introduction to how I define community within the space of Web3. Like, just I think your selflessness and your ability to just connect people. I mean, you connected me to Dave, Mr. Rectangle. We've already doxed Dave, so I'm just gonna call him Dave. You connected me to Dave, and it's just so interesting, like everybody that's in this room, because Dave was my first follow. Like, Dave, I had 0 followers, and then there was Dave. so so it's so interesting, like when I think about community, and how it relates to how I'm trying to move in the space. uh a lot of the leaders that are up here, like on the stage, that I've kind of like looked up to, because I still feel like a noob in this space. um they're selfless. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like there's that sense of, like you were talking about, the transactional, like what can you do for me community, and then there's the giving, like the folks that are actually really just great leaders even outside of the space, that I think is really what defines community for me, or what I've seen so far. And I know with Dave, I call him my dev dad. I again would take a bullet for Dave in my left arm because I need my right for drawing and art. But yeah, like Dave helped me so much, so selflessly, with my kilobytes NFT collection. And I cannot, and I'm still waiting on Dave. I'm still waiting, Dave, for you to tell me what commission piece you need. But I think that for me is, and even Onaji, Brian at Onaji, he's helped me out a lot too. Just like, just the sense of just giving without needing anything in return, and without asking for anything. I think that's the thing that I feel like for me has really defined how I build my community, because it is so much, like you said, so much of us are just trying to carve our way in this space. And I think there are a lot of conversations that start off with what I need is, and instead of like, how can we work together? And I think that's what I'm trying to lead into, the actual definition of community.
Yo, I love that. That's such a good point. Just in general, moving in ways that you think, oh, how can this fit together? Is this like a natural place? I think that that's the way to move, and it's true so often. I'm trying to think what it was recently. It was with Seed, when we had Seed. Now, there's another community and good friends where they're talking about how in their particular area, I'm in a whole other area. I'm in Toronto, Canada. At least normally I am. Now I'm in New Brunswick, but another province. But what they were explaining was that people would that it was like something like 2% or 3% of the dispensaries, because they deal with cannabis and tech and Web3, etc. But they wanted to get a license, and a very small amount of Black people got their licenses. So they actually said, you know what, we're going to run a round that's for people who are not like for not white dudes, for people who are people of color, etc. And so these same entities would just put a front person and then apply and get that money. And the reason I say that is because like that's how people will move, and that's the opposite of what I'm getting from what you just said, She Bites. Like that's not a mutually beneficial way of rolling. That's saying, how can I use your image for me to benefit again? And that's something that's been happening uh, to Black people. Like, we have been under assault like that. So that's another reason why I think that these spaces are so important, and not just to say, oh, this is BNA. No, no, no. Like, each each really community, each initiative, like focusing, for example, seed. I'll bring up seed one more time. Like, I don't know that much about weed. All I know is I smoke it every now and then. But they're going hard in that area. So now when we jump on with them, I'm like, oh, if I want to get some answers, if I want to get the focus, same thing goes, let's say, with Mennonites. If I want to know what's up with the data sovereignty, data secure, data sovereignty and security. Like, yo, holler at Dave, and probably even the next boss up is holler at Dele. And I think that's the super important thing. You know, we want skills in terms of experience as an artist in this. Tayo, you know, we can go and like connect and gain so much from the lanes. So I guess that's what I'm saying, is like, we have these different lanes, but I do think what She Bites mentioned is very, very important, which is, what does this really mean? Like, what is community, and what are the values that we hold as we move through these communities? Big shout out to Naji. I gotta be on that. You know what? Honestly, I have to say though, like, I have not been on Discord enough, and it makes my head spin. But one thing I know is I got to jump on that Onaji like yesterday. Yeah. So basically, I don't know if anyone else wants to chime in on what community means. I see a request from Tech Misfits.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm gonna go
mhm,
ahead and go because this is what we
please.
all about. Appreciate you for bringing this up and top of the afternoon to everybody. Uh, as it relates to 40 acres, right? We look at community as really the lifeblood of why we even came together in the first place. Because we saw that we were penetrating an industry, an ecosystem that had been devoid of the culture. And, two young Black men um, really thought objectively, like, how could we come together and promote an environment that serves as an oasis for our people, as opposed to scaring our people away. So throughout this last year, we've been in our ideation and cultural build phase. It's been a very eye-opening experience of what do they call it? Storming, norming, performing, all of that. And I'd say what community is to us and what it looks like is really finding consensus among aligned values and developing a pedagogy that's both engaged and promotes diversity, kind of like what you were saying with the relation to Black NFT art and Seaverse. We all have our unique interests that make us individuals, but we do have that underlying cause of wanting to promote education, engagement, and empowerment that brings us together. So we're just leveraging blockchain at the core and pushing our people to the periphery to be able to explore, experiment, and to build some super dope shit. But along that comes with having to deal with the more personal issues as well. So it's been great to like collectively set boundaries, collectively build accountability and responsibility. And I think that's what people are starting to talk about when they now refer to blockchain as a tool for coordination.
Big facts. Yeah. No, I love that, and how drawing that, like, the different lanes. By the way, yo, 40 acres did you create the program that 21 titles? If I'm remembering this story correctly, 21 titles participated in one of your Web3 programs or business programs. Am I remembering correctly?
No, I think you're talking about Florio Labs.
Ah, that doesn't sound right, but it was like one of the, probably I've got like the dope initiatives in my brain. You know, probably something that's when I hear 40 acres, like I know I've been retweeting, I've been like, checking for what y'all do, putting the word out, but it's more closer to 40 acres than What did you say, Florio Labs?
Yeah. Now I'm not sure. Like I know we very much tapped in with 21. Like it's hella love to the whole team and especially the initiative that they're doing to amplify efforts and respect for women basketball. But all I could really speak to is like our social impact because this is Catalyst. Maybe Russ could talk about some of our other stuff, but yeah, that's what come with being a DAO, y'all. we really be decentralized out here.
You say you're Catalyst?
Yeah.
All right, this is symbolic, so pleased to.
Oh, brother, I could feel the Canada from a mile away. Yeah, you ain't even have to say that.
Word up, yo! We got some more people jumping on, but yeah, I really appreciate that. That perspective, and like what you said, just like how Seed has an angle, we have our focus, and I think it's kind of tricky. The online communities are tricky because of, for example, yeah, let's say we're behind different accounts, or just memorizing. Like She Bites, I'm glad you just hold your your icon there, your PFP, like that is epic. It will drill in people's heads. I got to tell you, if you look down, you see symbolic. My thing was I had mine, and then I was like, yo, but how we communicate, we like throw, show love to different projects. So I started to, and I don't really flip it as much as I intended to, but I'll usually, when I buy a new NFT, when I get a new NFT, I'll like throw my logo small and then have the NFT large. But all I'm getting at is it's really can be tricky with new people to really drill. I find in your brain, you're like, okay, once it's like, because all we have is our voices, which is a blessing of I think these Twitter Spaces, and then our PFPs, and then like our art or whatever different things we do. So I think that's another really interesting thing, that we have a different like a whole different evolved way of communicating on these platforms. Like, we got the memes or however you do it. That reminds me, as I say that, I remember She Bites. I remember you did like this like community bubble thing that way back. You had like different people. You remember what I'm talking about?
I don't know. Are you talking about a meme?
It's not really a meme, but it was like, I think it had your picture in the middle and it had all different people who you were connected with.
Oh yes, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Like my close friends on Twitter.
Your Twitter friends, I guess. Yeah, like it just comes to mind as far as this whole different way that we really communicate. It's really we're seeing like a whole huge amount of change. I know one person in this room, at least one person can identify what I'm about to bring up, which is like back. Okay, there's this tweet that I saw with this mother, and they've got like a rotary phone, and her two daughters are like, "What's that?" And she's like, "It's a phone. You can call." They're like, "What happens if I dial a number?" And these kids didn't know what a rotary phone was. They could barely wrap their minds around it. And all that to say, this communication, now we come to ways where, yes, there are memes. Yes, there are we talk with voices on these platforms. We didn't, everyone, I don't know anyone who remembers the Clubhouse days. That was when this was kind of brand new, in terms of just jumping on and talking and so forth. We've got our PFPs. We vote through what we buy. That's another thing. We go in and pick something up. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud about how things have evolved so much, but how do we, being in our communities, what has been our experiences, and honestly and truly, this is a line that draws straight through to like ColecoVision. I gotta be honest. It's like my experience in the digital world, and this new throwing up PFPs and supporting. I think it's absolutely amazing. But to me, it draws through to the analog and so forth. I don't know if anyone give me a show of hearts or emojis if anyone was around, like remembers pre-internet. Does anyone remember like Web 1 Any hearts? Okay. No, no judginess at all. I was just curious because like Tayo's Tayo's
Does
laughing.
MySpace count?
Yo, MySpace is it does not count, but it does count because that was in a whole other era. But it was after the internet had existed.
I don't want to
Yeah,
myself too
yeah.
hard, but I remember when like the printer paper like had the little tear off perforated dots on the side. And
Dot Matrix.
yeah, you would have to like, and I would make accordions out of them. Like I would fold them and make little origami accordions. So I'm a woman of a certain age.
We
Right.
talking like floppy disk era?
Well, that was a part of that was pre-internet. Yes, I mean you could have a modem and dial up onto bulletin boards. That was a thing where all you could do was like type messages or leave a message. That was a real thing. Yo, I see. So am I saying right? So nine.
Perfect. That's perfect. I just want to throw a
Oh,
little joke in there, man. I remember when we first got AOL, and I had put AOL on the home computer, and we had got like a free trial for some internet, yo. And then my mom was trying to call my auntie out in Haiti, so I was in the middle of playing my video game, and my mom's like literally going off on me. She's like, "Why are you?" I was like, "I'm just trying to play some video games. Like I'm just trying to use the internet to play video games." She was going off on me. Interesting time period. Dial up.
dial up, yo. You could not be on the phone while you're dialing up. And back then, it wasn't like multiplayer games. You were just going to like whether it's the BBS or whether it's if you found your like secret stash where you can download those games, fit them on those floppy disks. Anyways, I don't know if anyone wants to touch on any of that anymore. The main thing for touching on that I would say is like I look at that as kind of my path into this. And so for us to like define like communities, like back then there was MySpace. That was the type of, you go and you'd be able to engage in a certain way, listen to music that was brand new. But now we're here talking with people around the globe. I think what Marty, I'm wondering, give me a heart. Are you Africa? I just love when we are connected around the globe. And then the question is, what do we do with that? You know what I mean? Like that's, and again, I think that us being in different lanes and saying, okay, someone who's focusing on this and then learning, like knowing these people, again, Onaji, of course, like, yo, if anyone, I'll throw somebody an Onaji if they're like, yo, I really want to learn about this stuff and I don't know where to go. It's like, yo, this is they're handling that. And I think that is a really solid way for us to move. We don't have to all be doing everything because we got so many things we have to do in our lives. Yo, I see She Bites and Sunine. She Bites, what's please go ahead.
Can I show Onaji real quick? Because I know Brian's probably busy, but we're
Yeah,
talking
please.
about community. And Onaji hits different. I don't know if y'all know. If you're not following Onaji, I highly recommend following Onaji because like when I was making my kilobytes collection and I like I'm not a dev. I was learning. I'm just an artist, that's learning how to dev. And Brian had reached out to me when I first joined, and he was just like, "Yeah, if you need any, like casually, if you need any help, just let me know." And then suddenly I needed help, and I was like, "Oh, should I ask? I don't know. Should I ask?" I was like, I wasn't, I wasn't sure. He had said, and then I reached out. I sent him a DM, and I'm like, "Actually, I do need help." And like that selflessness I'm was talking about with community, like he spent time. Like I sent over my code. We went back and forth and back and forth, and like really helping, like actually helping without asking for anything in return. And so it's just super inspiring to me. Like that's when I think about trying to build a community space, I immediately think Onaji and how they move. And I was super inspired. I posted in the thread for the space. I was super inspired by Onaji, and I created something that's in the thread. And please don't retweet it. Please, this is alpha. Please don't retweet it. Please don't like it. Just it's just for the folks in the room. And I'm going to talk to Brian afterwards. He didn't, this is the first time he's seen it. But yeah, like I want to, I made something to do a giveaway for Onaji. I don't know, I have to I have to talk to Brian about how he wants to facilitate it. But that's what I mean when I mean like community. Like he moved me to want to do something for Onaji because they just rep themselves so well that I was inspired. And now I want to, I don't know how we're going to figure out this giveaway. Again, this is alpha just for the folks in the room, but you will probably have to buy some Onajis for it. Um, and that's how I want to work it. I feel like that's the spirit of community is the giving, and the giving inspires you to want to give more. So yeah, I don't know if Brian can come up to speak about Onaji, but I definitely want to shill Onaji. I that's definitely a community that you want to be in.
Yo, that was jokes because you were like, just this is just for the room. This is alpha. Don't share it. I see a retweet and then I saw it deleted. Anyway. Don't worry, don't worry. I won't. We won't. Yo, that is amazing. That is amazing. That like, yo, like the flag. That's what it makes me think of. Like a whole flag. Yo, respects. And I know what you mean on that because like that's basically what happened with Meta Knights where like I was just like, yo, I love this. Let me just catch a vibe and write a rhyme and we just do it up, right? So it's true. Like I'm not just doing this because I feel it. So this is my as a creative person, let me just throw down and like create something in this universe. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I
kilobytes. That's right. You do that too, Kwabe. Like I remember you took that photo with your kilobyte. You were wearing it. Like I think you photoshopped it, right?
yeah, that was jokes. I forgot about that. Yes, yes. Yo, the thing is, like, yeah, it's like even yeah, that was a quicker kind of, I just had this idea, so let me pull it into the software. Um, but yeah, it can be tough as well, right? I mean, that's time for you to make that I'll call it a flag, Unaji flag,
I
but
don't
it's
think
so
when
me.
I was just gonna
Mm-hmm.
say, like, I just feel like I think it took I didn't count how many hours, but it did take time. But I feel like Brian took time. Brian took time without wanting anything. So I just felt like that's to me is the part of that inspiration and that community building. It's like you have great leaders that lead by example. And so yeah, I'm just taking a page from Brian. That's all.
Mm. And humble too. The best combination. All right, so Sunai, I see Tayo is gonna wants to say a word. So right after Sunai.
I think that's pretty dope that she Bites was sharing that the selflessness of someone else, and I think that's what really drives community because people. I say this all the time. People pick and choose when they want to be selfish, and selflessness ultimately is like the break in the chain because sometimes people feel like, well, I ain't get it like that, so I'm not gonna make it that easy, and that's the same issue that a lot of us are talking about for the most part, especially when we're talking about the art space and stuff like that, and people quote unquote gatekeeping, and just affording and allowing space for individuals to create and excel without ego. Uh, it's what's going to push the world forward. And I'm watching even the evolution of the internet. I'm a producer, and I remember when I started making music back in 2010, there weren't too many videos on the internet about how to use Pro Tools, how to use Logic, how to use GarageBand to specifically. And now they have it so that they show you how to get an artist specific sound. Like they'll show you the plugin chains that are utilized and the ins and outs of the software. So I'm grateful, and I'm really happy to be a part of the Web3 space, growing and learning, and it's influencing me to push myself and excel and to learn things I would have otherwise, probably would have not or ever even come across or never even had the idea to. So we give thanks.
Mm, right. So like that giving, I don't know, attitude, that ethos, or where we give and share, like that really has like, I don't know if it's the right way to say a domino effect, but it like passes on, just like She Bites was mentioning. I think that's really something valuable to think about. Like, yeah, like even when you don't really you don't think about the fact that, oh, it's gonna have that effect. Like She Bites, when you say like, oh, I introduce you to people, I'm like, yo, I'm the type of person, I'm like, yeah, yeah, enough about me, let's talk about you. But it's touching. It's really, really touching, because then you're like, oh shoot, because really it's that same cascading effect. It's like um Dave, Bit Gallery, like that was the effect on me when I didn't know anything about it. And I still don't consider myself to know a whole bunch. That's not really my style to be like, oh, I memorized everything. I'm more like, yo, I vibe through things, and some dope stuff comes when, through me, when I'm around with my people. But I'm not like the memorize the encyclopedia type of person. But I'll read the encyclopedia. Some heads don't even know what an encyclopedia is these days, so I'm doing it again. I see a request here. I did want to say, okay, we got Edwin Rogers. I'm going to approve you to jump up. In just a few, at about 2, I want to continue the conversation on this, but we're going to make an announcement. We have at Black, or AKA Black Web3, doing some really big stuff, and I would just want to give some space to talk about what they're doing as it pertains to NearCon and getting our people there, some founders, etc. But for now, I just realized, tie your damn shoes. Hey, Tayo. Oh, you sound really low to me. Is it just me?
Can you hear me? Oh,
You're
it's
low.
low, but
Oh,
it
there.
wasn't low at first. Sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, I agree with everything she might say. Like my idea of community is everybody in this room, because it's like literally everybody in this room has impacted me in so many different ways. From Dave to Ness, I met She Bites one time in New York, also impacted me, and it's like people that
Wait, you met She Bites? Sorry.
yeah.
Really? I didn't go to New York.
You didn't?
Maybe it was somebody that looked like me, another Blasian.
Holy shit. Okay, I was thinking of somebody else. Dude, I had like this whole mindset that you were this specific person I met with African NFT art, and I was gonna be like, African NFT art is community, like all of that. Sorry. I'm so sorry.
They had my vibe, so maybe
Yeah,
like,
they look
okay.
exactly like you. Like exactly like you. I'm surprised that never came up, because this whole time I thought I already met you. But yeah, my idea of community is just like being able to like connect with people and already knowing that they know other people that have already connected with you. Like the fact that She Bites and Dave have already worked together, it's like I already know that she's part of my community also, because it's just, I don't know, like Dave is like such a good person, like crazily good person. We've worked together on so many projects and stayed up all night, like did not have to at all, you know. And these are people that like will give you advice that you can like really really like talk to about anything, personal things. And Ness also, like she's like my best friend, and I met all like my family in the NFT space. Like my family is in this room right now, and that's what my idea of community is. Like it's not just like, you know, it's not just like you're seeing art, you're buying art. It's like you have a relationship with them outside of the NFT space, and that's my idea of community.
I love you.
Beautiful.
Me too.
Right? That relationship. I think that is um, that's important because I think that's what takes it out of the transactional. You know, if you actually have a relationship, you're like, yo, I want to like however we can connect, like whether one day we meet in person, whether we do a project together, whether we support something where, you know, like let's say for example, I can't say Onaji without saying She Bites or Mr. Rectangle because I heard first, I was like, yo, I saw them rocking Onaji, and so then I went and I was like, yo, this is dope. And I saw all the work that was, you know, about the school. And I was like, yeah, that's cool, but you know, whatever. I'm just gonna grab a couple just because I love the art. And then I see that they're doing these classes and it's cool peeps that I can identify with. The particular class I'm thinking of is the AI art, and that was see through. And so I didn't know see through until that class. Now I'm like, yo, this is a cool person. And then I go to Umbadaima and say, yo, because I've been thinking about AI art. So now that Onaji threw down, like made this learning opportunity, I'm like, yo, if we want to get, you know, see if see through can come through and teach our people because they're already teaching it over at Onaji. So I just think that's the super cool thing about it as well, that you can connect. And what Tayo was just saying about, like, it's more than just, you know, just buying a piece of art or something simple, you know, just a one-time this or that. It's really a relationship. Agreed, 100%.
Wait, where is the lessons for AI art? I definitely love AI art.
Yeah, you can grab that by following Onaji. You can see Onaji down there. Onaji, that was my first AI art course that I took, and it was because I was a holder of Onajis, and so yeah, that's what I can say is they already, I don't know when the next one is going to be, but there will be a next one as far as my information, and it was absolutely amazing. It was a great vibe, and I learned so much about the tools, about the process, and got some stuff done by the end of it. Yeah, I see a request here. Tech Misfits. While we're talking about Tech Misfits for a quick second, did you want to add to that? Did you want to add to that? Trying to see who it was. Was it Cope? Who was that?
I
Was it?
just raised my hand, but Cope has been waiting for a minute. Sorry.
Okay. Cope, do you want to say a word now? I wanted to say a quick thing. So maybe I'm just going to say this quick thing because then it's like out of the way. I want y'all to know that Tech Misfits is dope and you should follow Tech Misfits, but more importantly, get on the wait list because we're building the most diverse tech community on the planet. And so imagine intentionally saying women need to be present. And this is like to make a proper to really create the tech of the, like, how tech should be, like all what we've seen when it's where we have not been there, where we've been misfits in the tech world. That's not the right way to build, because we'll build better when we are present, women, people of color, etc. And that's what we're building. And if you jump in early on that wait list, then you have a chance to get your NFT for free. So that is what I wanted to mention there. And so, yeah, enough big ups, respects. And we have a lot of different communities right here in the house. So like everyone, please follow everyone. I'll leave it at that. Was it Cope? I just went on a bit. Cope, talk to us, please. Who? Someone had me like was straightening me out and saying, was it Cope? Was that right, or am I wrong?
Yeah, Cope has their hand up. Are you there, Mr. Enekwe?
Enekwe, right? I see where you got that now, Mr. Enekwe. Cope, if you want to say a word, now is the perfect time. If not, I know there's other people who want to say some stuff, like Nesra.
Yeah, I just wanted to quickly add on to what Tayo was saying. I feel like another way community is built is through seeking knowledge, right? Through like what Shibites was saying too, like when you need help, and there's like a lot of people with a wealth of knowledge that you normally wouldn't have access to. There's people who have worked in various industries, you know what I'm saying? Like on the movie scene, CGI effects, and that's how they got into art, or like this, that, or the third. There's people on funding sides working for different companies. And now a lot of people in the community have like community manager roles and they're getting in that way. So there's so much information, and a lot of people are really kind when you tap in and like ask for knowledge and for help. But I always say that you have to be really skeptical because social engineering is a big thing. And I always say this anytime I get a chance, but there are people who are just in this space to take advantage of others. And so I'll just say, if you're ever on Discord and you get like private messages or even on Twitter and it's just constant like asking questions, sometimes the grammar is poor. And it leads up to, hey, I really want you to check this out, this link, or hey, download this or whatever. Like, just never trust it. The relationships that I can say, and I'm going to just speak honestly, that I've built with Tayo and Dave, Mr. Rectangle, it was based off of working on multiple projects together. It's been going on over a year. We've met in person multiple times. So I can say, like, okay, I trust these people. You know what I'm saying? But if it's working on, like, I don't know, like working in a series of spaces or like something, I don't know, like on Discord, or if it's situations where you've kind of known someone on the internet maybe for a while but only chatted with them, I would still say, like, yes, it's community and you can still be fond of people, but still be skeptical of like links and downloading things and being taken advantage of. So I guess that was like a little bit of a warning. But there's also like just there are amazing opportunities to get to know people and build like lifelong friendships. So just be wary.
Very, very good point. Like we were saying earlier, we do have Black Web3 in the building, and we're going to talk about an amazing initiative. But I need y'all to put your hands up and get on stage, please, because the searching to find is going to be a little difficult. Oh, no, I saw you before. I invited you up, Bianca. I'll invite you once again. We're not going to cut short this conversation, though. We're talking about what does community mean to us, and we're going in as far as like what we gain from community. I think what Ness just mentioned was really a big one, which is how we big up IV producer in the building. How we really can protect ourselves by being in these communities. Earlier we were talking about the fact that community. Who that? We were, we were talking about how. Wait, I'm trying to see who that was.
I'm sorry, I'm having trouble with my phone switch.
That's cool. Oh, is that Cope?
Yeah, sure.
That's an equi. Oh, no problem. You're good. We got some hands up. I was just, to close that sentence, I was just going to say, what was it? The protecting. Well, yeah, people have different ideas of what community is. And, earlier I was saying some people really see it as marketing, and it's interchangeable. But really the vibe, I always say Black NFTR changed the internet for me, and I'm not joking. Like when I jumped onto Twitter, I was like, what? The feature is that you have less words you can say? That's ridiculous. Then I started seeing all the beautiful art, beautiful people, hearing stuff like Ashe in the room, connecting with all these people. And so to me, that's a part of, like, from my definition, I think what we hit on a lot today. So we're going to go to some of the hands that are up, but I did send an invite, but I don't know if you got up. Big up Vaughn Seed, we were mentioning you just moments ago. But yeah, is this? No, I'm trying to find out if Black Web3, if you are not on stage, then please do put your hand up. If you are on stage, say hello. We'd love to hear from you. But in the meantime, we're not in a rush. We're not shutting down now. We've still got mad hands up. So I don't know if either I see. Okay, Cope, we did call you before, so definitely.
Okay, can I say something?
Is that Cope?
Yes, that's the scope. Sorry.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And I want to touch on what you just mentioned. I'm part of the Black Web3 scholars, and one
Oh,
of
nice.
yeah, so one of the things you mentioned is really interesting because I was having a conversation today with folks. I'm in the entertainment industry. I can tell you what Nanny Labs does, but what I really want to talk about is what you said, which was about how there's gatekeepers and things. One of the things about community and being a black person building community in a place that's public, right? The Web3 is by its nature public, right? And building community in Black Web 3, one of the things that I've noticed, because I'm in the entertainment industry and I've seen how black people in the entertainment industry represent themselves in public. And one of the things that I've seen is that when we have the opportunity to represent ourselves in places that are, you know, that are exclusive. One of the things that what I've seen people do is try to make sure, and I'm going to contextualize this in like reality, is try to make sure that whoever is representative is, whoever's representing us actually makes our culture show up in a way that is, that we can be proud of, which by its nature doesn't necessarily represent the ethos of what the broader community is about because we're representing a whole culture, right? I'm only saying that because in my experience, there's like I'm Nigerian American. And what that means is I'm very close to the Nigerian entertainment industry. And in the Nigerian entertainment industry, we get to promote or essentially select in the foreign category of the Oscars. We have to select who would be a candidate for the Oscars, and that's relatively new. But what happens in that is oftentimes Nigerian film producers, which is like one of the third largest film production um, countries that produce a third amount of films. What happens is all the producers come together, so they all are like know each other, and what will happen is they'll say, you know what, even though we think everybody is trying to make it, we're not going to select any of us to represent us on the world stage. And, you know, that to me has been like a very challenging thing to know and to appreciate why people are doing it. And I think there's a lot of people have a lot of conversations about what that is and what that means. But ultimately, what happens is people select people to be representatives, and then like they want to make sure that the people who show up in a certain way. And I feel all sorts of ways about it because ultimately I like community, I like decentralization, I like democratization, all of these sort of like buzzword terms. And I hate gatekeeping because gatekeeping sounds like a negative thing to me. But when we think about community building, like it's not just community as an essence, because it's like community building. It's like active participation about it. I always, and I'm just going to throw this out there. I would like to know how people feel about where we are as Black people and how we are trying to put ourselves out there in the world, and what does that mean? Like, what type of choices should we be making? Should we just show up in community, or or do we need to show up in the building space? Like, we know that we don't have the resources to do everything, so we need to show up in a way that people can invest in us and they feel confidence, or do we need to show up just as ourselves? Like, I feel like that's an ethos too. But anyway, I'm Chinadu Inekwe. I just love the Black community, regardless if we were building or if we're just chilling or if we're just kicking it in any sort of way. I run Nandy Labs. We support Black creators and we focus on projects that can allow us to make enough money so that we can keep the lights on. So that's me. I'd love to hear everybody's feedback on what they're building and the thoughts I just shared.
Yo, you just made some big points. Like, it's all right. I just say a quick word. Like, it's all right for us to just to be present is huge. Well, that's not enough in my estimation. We need to be building. That's how we change the world. I see Vaughn Seedverse in the building. Definitely, we want to hear. We have some hands up. We want to definitely get. We're not rushing you. We have Black Web3. We definitely need to. Actually, it's right now where I'm at. It's 2:01. No, sorry. If I was in Toronto, it'd be 2:01. I got all kinds of times around me. I did want to just pause on that point and say what up. Black Web3 partnering with us. Want to make sure definitely to give love and let everybody know what the great work that you're all doing.
Hello.
Are you there?
I am.
There you
are. Hello, everyone. Hey, family. My name is Saba. I'm the founder of Black Web3. It's a global ecosystem of Black founders, builders, and creators in Web3. And what we do is we actually work to keep us sustained and resourced so we can keep building in the space. It's interesting that Chinadu and yourself were discussing what was more important, to show up or to show up in a certain way. And I can say it's a great segue to what we're wanting to talk about today, which is the Black Web Scholars Program. We have shown up in I think the first Web3 conference where there was more than your typical sprinkles of Black people. And so I feel like there's value in both. It is valuable for us to show up, to be in a conference or be in a setting where it's not exactly designed with us in mind, and we show up and refuse to feed into a reality that we never were a part of creating, right? So um, we are now focusing on 4 pillars: building, investing, growing, and leading. And we focus on the thing that most folks don't focus on when they talk about diversity and inclusion. And it's the E, it's the equity. Our initiatives are considered industry initiatives, or that's how we frame them, because we believe while this work is in the short term directly affecting people who look like us, Black people, ultimately it'll impact the entire industry if uh, you know um, everyone isn't working with people of color who we perceive and we believe are the global majority. And so when it comes to conferences, we try to partner with these foundations in order to drive attendance, to drive participation, mostly speaking, exhibiting, and just make it clear that we're here, we're building, we're not going anywhere. So we have,
amazing.
so we have a few of our scholars on the line, and I appreciate Mbadaima Black NFT Art for putting this together. We're all, just so everyone knows, we're all in Lisbon, Portugal right now for NearCon. About 25 of us, with the support of Near Foundation, were flown out here, travel, accommodations, everything handled in order for us to show up. And there's about 5 of us or 4 of us on the line who will detail their experience, talk about what they're building, and give you guys some insight on what this global ecosystem is about.
That sounds amazing. Oh, but can you pull us back and tell us a little bit about how this came about? Focusing on founders, and there was what is it, founders as well as another group, I think. But and like, how did this come about, and how did you pull it together? And then we'd love to hear from those who are benefiting from this program, who are actually in Portugal right now, right?
Yeah. So are we just specifically talking about the ecosystem or the Black Web Scholars Program?
I mean the
When you
Black
say
Web
how to make.
Scholars Program.
Yeah, sure. So how it came about was just going to these Web3 conferences and noticing that there were sprinkles of us everywhere, and we weren't communicating. So it started from a Telegram group and then turned into an actual event at Web3 conferences, and then was framed as a conference partnership series. And then as part of the partnership series, we decided it would make sense to have us participate, not just in the States, because in the States, we were providing folks with tickets to Consensus, to a number of these state-based Web3 conferences, and then decided that we would work with the organizers, which we've noticed happen to be the foundations, right? The actual protocols. So there's upcoming conferences that we'll also be at, like DevCon with Ethereum Foundation, a few other ones through the rest of the year. So it just came out of recognizing the need and recognizing that if we didn't, no one would. So we reached out, had a conversation, and set it up. And Black Web3 has its own partners like Ubadaima and the 5 folks that we have on the call. And so we brought in our partners, and then we pulled out or we pulled together an application form in order to bring the best and the brightest and create the opportunity. So.
Beautiful. Thanks for that insight. And yeah, if anyone who is on stage has any questions for Black Web3, I think this just fits so well into the conversation we started previously. And so who are your 5 founders? Am I right on that? They're all founders, correct?
Yeah, so we have a number of founders. So a certain amount of them came with us for this program. And the ones on this call are Chinedu Nekwe, and he is the founder of Nandi Labs. We have, and I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing names right. Please let me know if I'm not, pronouncing last names right. So we also have Akechi Nuabusi, who is the founder of Tribal. We have Bianca Jackson, the founder of Brick Rose Exchange, and we have Trez, who is the founder of the Black DAO.
Amazing. So if anyone wants to jump up and introduce yourself, now is a good time. Any of our Black Web3 program, Scholars program.
Hello. So I'm Chinadu Anekwe. I am I'm a curator of failure and fortune, and I am the one of the founders of Nandi Labs, and we build tools for Black creators exclusively. We focus on, like I said earlier, projects that can allow us to actually have returns that allow us to countries, uh, like newspapers and things like that. But that allows us to build projects that have the scale that allow us to have the returns that allow us to kind of grow. I'm lucky enough to be a founder in the Black Web3 Scholars Program with a host of others. What I've recognized and what the opportunity provides, like I've been to blockchain conferences, and one of the things that kind of invariably happens is you kind of, just like if you're Black in any other thing, you kind of hang around the same lunch table, right? But if you don't, you then have to figure out how do you create your WhatsApp group or your Telegram group, but then how do you keep it alive? And then how do you make it like sustain itself? And one of the things that I'm very excited about is how Saba has had the forethought, vision to bring us all together and make it something that doesn't last for a conference, doesn't just happen in one day or a set of conferences. She's thought about the programming that would allow us to create the value proposition to multiple blockchains, multiple entities, and then also create a community amongst ourselves in a continual basis. Like this isn't the first thing that she's done. She's been in the space for a while. So even though we're saying this and we're going to bring on other founders, I want to just highlight how the energy that it takes to build community, and thank Saba for doing that thanklessly, and acknowledge the effort that it takes. So I'll leave it with that.
That was very kind, Chinedu. I appreciate that. But I want to thank everyone who's in this room, everyone who's building, and everyone who refuses to go away, despite how difficult it is and despite how heavy this work is.
Thank you very much for that. Absolutely. And yeah, thank you for your work. I wonder, is there any of the other founders who are here on stage that would like to say a word? I know Tribal, I don't see Tribal, but yo, they're doing some great work. Maybe they'll pop in a moment. I see a request. I see a request from, what is it? Mike X. Let's just invite everybody up. Everyone, please follow. Please do follow Black Web3. They're doing great work. Same thing with all of the communities that came together to talk about this subject matter of what is communities. I think when we connect with new communities, it's really like what we talked about before. It's amazing when we are connected through family already, and so we can be like, oh shoot, someone's handling that. And one thing I do have to say is I've been over on the near side of things, but more on the artistic, musical side of things, also on the onboarding DAO. So to hear that you're giving people access, it doesn't cost the amount to do everything on near. And there are other blockchains, of course, like Flow blockchain, where Tech Misfits is minting, and beyond. So when we connect with people and we're already crew, then it's like we can hit the ground running, and we know, okay, someone's focusing on that aspect. All right, we can keep you in mind. So I would say, everyone follow C Bytes, Kilobytes, Onaji. Make sure to follow Black Web3 and all affiliates. 40 Acres, definitely. Mr. Rectangle and the Meta Knights. Just everybody just follow. This is all good vibes here, so enough love. I just want to say that quick fast. Is there anyone else here from Black Web3 that we can that wants to jump up and say a word? I see there is a request from Bianca. So Bianca is Black Web3, correct? In the meantime, I just want to say I love, when I read Black Web3 and the way that you slid in the 3 as the E. I love that. I'm just saying. Sometimes it's the simple, beautiful things in life. That's all I want to say there. And Edwin Rogers, jump in on stage. Let's not be shy. Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
Just wanted to say that Bianca is a founder of ours, and we're also waiting for Trez, who is a founder of Black DAO.
Okay, nice. But you said Trez, Black DAO?
Yes, Trez at Black DAO should be on.
Okay, do you see him in the room?
I don't see him in there. He was in the room. I'll make sure he's in the room. Give me 1 second.
All cool. No stress. We'll be here. I accepted Bianca, and then I immediately get another request. So I don't know if Twitter's just bugging out on us, but we'll get you up here. Definitely would love to hear your voice. In the meantime, I see some hands up. I see Mike X. How are you? What's on your mind?
Hello, hi. I'm just happy to meet you and be in such a positive energy. She Bites, hello. I have met. This is the second space I've been in with such wonderful, wonderful guiding energy, and like you all have said about, there's I feel like there's landmines that in Twitter Spaces, there's landmines in IRL, and we should not fool ourselves into thinking that one space is not going to have something. It's just going to look a little different, you know. And I'm an artist. My name is Mike X. I'm a singer, songwriter, choreographer from New York City. I work with a lot of artists professionally, just helping them get to the next step wherever that was. And then I became disabled like 6 years ago. Navigating that, like I was telling She Bites the last time we spoke, that helped me find space to finally work on the project that I had always wanted to work on. And taking time and taking that space to like think for yourself, to ask yourself those questions that are important, that will define who you are as opposed to you and someone else. That's crucial. I do these quick 30-minute spaces Monday, Wednesday, Friday in hopes of I clarifying myself, and while I do that honestly and authentically, I believe that I'll find other people like me, and I believe that's what I've been finding. These conversations have been awesomely fulfilling. I was never a digital artist of any kind until a year ago, and then the things that I'm doing surprise some of my favorite artists. I love the sound of Black Dow. I don't even know what it is, but it sounds fly.
Right?
I'm thankful for this community. I'm excited to be a part of it.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you very much. I'm hyped to hear about Black Dow as well. Now, did I get you correctly that I want to say this right, that you became disabled and that gave you an opportunity to focus in a specific way? Did I hear that right?
You did.
That is just fire to like really that is I'm just going to give a really really short side note. I won't go into too much detail, but I'm traveling across I'm not in Toronto right now because of illness within the family, and it's one of the most beautiful people that you can ever know. She said, the only thing I want is for my family to come together. And so we did come together. And so that just comes to mind when you say that. You had this, a lot of people would say, oh, no, that's terrible. But you said, but here's the opportunity that came out of that. And I think that shows extreme character. And so thank you for sharing that.
I appreciate that. And the last thing that I'll say is I feel like we've all, whether my minorities, and I feel like I've considered myself a minority on a minority, and then because of the disabilities on top, a minority on top of it, and it's a lot that's in our heads, but we're not crazy, and we have been held from access to different things, but we're not crazy, and our beauty just changes, but not negatively if we choose to keep it and maintain it. So I appreciate you all, and I'm so excited to collaborate because our future, not only our futures need it, but the ones behind us or the ones that are coming need it. So thank you.
Thank you so much for that. I can feel the positivity, and it just raises up, everyone's spirit. When people can just shine their light, and I really think it goes back to that question. Us just being there it's fine, but we change the world when we're actually building, when we're contributing, like Black Web3, to say, you know what, we see this need and we're going to do something about it. That just has such a huge impact. So I definitely feel that. I see that Edwin, you have your hand up.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you for this room. It's so inspirational, and I'm definitely really glad to have stumbled in on this room. And I definitely want to learn more about, like, I definitely have gone to many tech conferences over the years and been like stuff, and I want to give back to the community. I love this, idea of educating and being like on the forefront of the technology, because I think there's a concept that as Black people we've been held back, but there's a very small fraction of people that are in this space in general. So we are actually in the forefront, where in a technology that nobody can really take away from us. It's really, that's the beauty of the blockchain itself. So we're I feel obligated to share it with others, so that other people will I don't necessarily want to say other people will be left back, but we'll be ahead of a lot of other people as a community. That's what I want to share.
I love that point, because in fact, us being in this place, or just to think about that shows we are ones who can choose to, well, in a way, we set the vibe, we set the culture. We have a say in that by us being here. So by setting a positive vibe, a sharing and supportive vibe, that is going to be a part of what is to exist in the space. So I really appreciate that. I was going to say something, but I wanted first, Black Web3, you would answer, if you could tell Edwin and everyone, how do they get involved? How do they follow you and tap in?
Sure. So we do have a global Black Web3 Telegram group. We also have our website, blackweb3.com, where you can subscribe, put your email in so you can be connected to opportunities that come up, initiatives we're working on. And then lastly, we have our partners who are tuned in at different events as well, working with us. And so it's mostly the emails and the Telegram right now. We're very Web3 in that way. Our website is pretty plain. We've just been grassrootsing it and building community on the ground. So it comes down to Twitter and our website and Telegram.
Awesome. I would just suggest putting that on your the bio of your Twitter, so that you can just link to your site, and then more people could join and be a part of it. But I'll definitely search for it and sign up when I'm not driving.
Absolutely. And if you're a founder, if you feel like there's something specific you can offer the Black Web3 ecosystem, we're happy to support and amplify you as well. As mentioned, we structure equitable partnerships to ensure equal value exchange and also to encourage us to invest in each other as we build.
Thank you. I will definitely hit you up about that.
Nice. I love it. I love it. So yeah, I also wanted to just give a reminder that Tech Misfits is building the most diverse tech network on Earth. We've got a lot of friends. We brought a lot of our friends here. We talked about last week with Seedverse. Sorry, let me bring the journalist up. So yeah, I just wanted to say that right now is a good time. Don't wait to jump on the Tech Misfits wait list. So just go to techmisfitsapp.com, find that wait list, and sign up, because basically it's going to give people who are looking to make moves and build on their skills opportunities to build their skills, to find mentors, to find opportunities, as well as for founders and companies. Tech Misfits, it's actually a beautiful, beautiful NFT, but it's not just about the beautiful art. Actually, it is the key into the Tech Misfits app. And so apply now. It's like $250 if you just want to buy it. I plan to get that wait list and buy some too, because it's so amazing. It's beautiful art, and also something that I want my people to be connected with. That's why I'm telling you about this. I want everyone here to make sure that you get that opportunity, raise your chances of getting one for free. So that's pretty much that. I see there's a request, but nothing's happening there. So moving right along. Thank you everybody for being here. And I see Sunai. How you doing?
I'm great. Is there a Referral code. I'm about to hit submit right quick, or subscribe. I'm on the Text Misfits page right now, actually putting in my
Right.
information.
Yo, I like how you move. Yeah, exactly. Do that now. No, as far as getting early on the list, you may not have a referral code. That's fine for now. Just get on it and then go from there.
Is it okay if I shill a little bit?
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead. Tell us what's up.
I wanted to thank everyone and shout out to Bit Gallery and the Angle family, and we're out here pushing the envelope, creatively, like pushing ourselves. And this weekend, actually, we're having an event in Georgia. For anybody who's in Georgia locally who wants to come by, we're doing a listening party for two NFT projects, mine as well as Indigo Bangs. She has her NFTs on the blockchain. Indigo Bang is a phenomenal recording artist, and she's one of the first female recording artists to actually NFT her project as a recording artist, and her music is phenomenal. So if you guys happen to find yourselves free this weekend, you can come by and listen to the project. We're looking to onboard as many artists as possible. So we're inviting artists in the city of Atlanta to come through. Some people who have zero knowledge about Web3, people who are just looking to learn more, and people who just enjoy music. So the link is in my bio for anybody interested. If you are a holder of any of our NFTs, of course you are in for free.
Dope. I love it. Um, Ooh. I wanted to just say that if you see Symbolic down there, that's me, and I have a lot to do with a newsletter, and we love to big up different things that are going on in the community. So just want to say, Sue, if you just send me some info, I'd love to let people know about what you're doing generally in our Friends of Community section, and make sure that everyone signs up for the Daima newsletter. And yeah, so basically that you got this going on. I wanted you to hit me up with a message. I just in. Apparently, Symbolic. You can you can put Symbolic for a referral code, but I probably already missed that opportunity with you. But word up. Definitely send me a message if you like, and I'm all about pushing the word further. So thank you so much for our heads that are in Atlanta. There's a lot of stuff that's going on. Daima does their monthly, both workshops that are starting up right now, in-person workshops that are going to be amazing, as well as NFT social, NFT Web3 social, I should say, in person. So, yeah, definitely hit me up, my guy, and we'll make sure that we put the word out far and wide. Edwin, I see you.
Oh, thanks. I just wanted to say I stuck in traffic, so I was able to sign up for your for Black Web3. I found it online and put in my email. So super excited about that and joining the community. And I also wanted to not really show, but if I could just toss out an idea that I have and get any kind of feedback to somebody, that I would really appreciate that.
Yeah, hit us.
Yeah, so I I have been working on for the past year a couple of things like a virtual NFT gallery and um, my own NFT art. I'm not an artist per se, but I did sell one NFT, so I'm super happy. I'm officially a artist that has sold a piece of work. So I'm really happy, and it was actually my AI art that sold. So I'm super happy about that. But what I want to do is print my art on a T-shirt and then have a QR code, and then when you scan the QR code, you're given a I don't know if it's possible to give away an NFT, or is it possible to just have a digital download giveaway. Um, but I think I was just thinking of this idea, and I've been working on it for the past, I would say, month and a half, and I just wanted to get a sense of what people think about it. Like, is it a good idea? Is it a bad idea? Is it something that people would want?
Yo,
I
I
have
would say, Go ahead, please.
I have a T-shirt like that. Actually, I'm wearing it right now. It has a QR code, and it takes them to my NFT. It takes them to a landing page specifically for my NFT, and it has information about how to purchase NFTs, the NFT itself, and the QR code is actually on the inside of the So like when you look at the shirt, it has the cover art for the project on it, and on the inside tag, there's a QR code that you can scan, and it takes you
Dope.
to a
So
page.
what I have mine on the shoulder because the idea for me is like that anybody who walks over to 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 me could just scan it and
Just
get
thinking
a
that.
free
Yeah, the
shirt.
point. Yeah.
My suggestion is you use a short link to for the QR code, and then that way you can also change it.
Yeah, I have a dynamic. I have a dynamic um, software that allows for dynamic NFTs. I'm sorry, dynamic QR codes, so that I can switch the where I'm pointing it to um, for each product. At the moment, what I'm doing is creating the shopping cart for each shirt, and then I'm pointing it to that shirt, and on that shopping cart, you right there, it allows you to just if you don't want to buy the shirt, it doesn't matter. I'm not trying to get anything. Just download the. It's usually like I create a Blender um, version of the shirt, and then I'm making some of it like a specific kind into an NFT as well.
Hey,
I was
But
only
I'm following you, and I will definitely direct message you about that. I don't want to take up too much of the room, but I appreciate the feedback. I really, really do.
thank you so much for being here. I see Bianca. Hey, Bianca.
Hey, oh my God. This is my first time being in Twitter Spaces and it was causing all types of havoc. So I finally got it to work and I can hear everybody now. Thanks for holding this room. Shout out to Saba for getting the scholars to Lisbon. So there's two things that I want to talk about. Black Web3. So if you're not in the community, please come join it. Please find the link. Please hit her up if you can't find the link. But we have an amazing opportunity. There's about, I think, almost 30 of us now in Lisbon from all over the world. And so it's been really great to meet people all from online in real life. And so being able to have this opportunity, and I know that there'll be other opportunities to take advantage of if you join the group. The NAIR conference has been amazing. It looks like a big, excuse my language, ass circus. There's a carousel and like some activations, a lot of booths to talk to people. And so if you haven't had the opportunity or you're not here in Lisbon, definitely try to make sure that you make it for next year. And so I'll introduce a little bit about what we do. So I run a space called Brick Rose Exchange. And so we're primarily focused on right now, it's in Baltimore. So we're tapping into that corridor between DC and Baltimore of Web3 practitioners. And so if you are any person on here who wants to teach workshops, classes, there's a community of creatives and business owners in the Baltimore DC area who want to learn more. I'm primarily focused on Baltimore with DC as a backup. And so please reach out to me. There's some opportunities I'm working on personally with some brands to be able to activate Baltimore and just really bring more resources to the city. So I'm happy for this room. Thank you for providing me space to chat here today. And good afternoon, good evening, and good morning, wherever everyone is.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. And and for that opportunity for so many people to connect, get over to NearCon. I'm curious to ask, how did you why near? Was there like a particular reason why, other than maybe they just had the money? What is there something about the blockchain? Anything notable? I'm curious about that.
I would say right now for me, I'm still in exploration mode, right? And so there's so many different platforms, protocols, whatever, and just really trying to understand what would be the best for the community that we serve, primarily in the Baltimore, DC area. So for me, I'm just curious, right? I'm curious about the resources, the activations, what they're funding, and just really trying to get a sense to bring the best of the best to the city. And so that's literally the only explanation for me.
Hey, I love it. I love it. Looking to see where there is opportunity, and yeah, that exploration. It's super important. Have you checked out Mintbase yet?
I have not, but it looks like I got some more homework to do.
Yeah, check out Mintbase because there's a lot of people are minting on Mintbase. It's super affordable. I've minted on Mintbase, Mintbase.io. Another interesting thing about the Near ecosystem is the DAOs. Let me see. Where's Mr. Rectangle? Mr. Rectangle, cover your ears. Cover your ears, Mr. Rectangle. I want to hear more from you as well. I'm just saying, but basically they built out a DAO solution that makes it relatively easy to set up a DAO and make those collective DAO decisions. It's a deeper conversation we won't go into today, but Mr. Rectangle has reservations because Mr. Rectangle believes that we need to be building those things at the root level so that we have control, and so that if someone else decides that they don't want us doing a thing, they have no say in the matter. Okay, did I represent you right, Mr. Rectangle?
You did, brother. You did.
Okay,
I
cool.
appreciate Mr. Rectangle because that's actually what we push as well. It's really important to build our own things and to take up space. So with Near Found, you asked why, just to give a bit more to that question about why Near. So there's a number of foundations. We're blockchain agnostic. It is important for us to have folks test out different blockchains, decide which solution works for them. But we encourage folks to save your best and brightest ideas for the projects that are going to be built on the platforms that we own. And so I think that, we need more Mr. Rectangles who get it, that if we're talking about equity and owning our own things and taking up space and building our own solutions, that it is important to think about vertical integration and think about owning it all from the top to the end, and so actually our scholars are here to some of them aren't even building on Near, some of them are just wanting to educate themselves, some of them, it's a range of folks, but they're not required to shill or to push any sort of Near product. They're here to understand Near, engage the ecosystem, in order to see if that's where they want to build or how they want to move. But it's purely not the typical setup.
Right. No, I appreciate that. Like, yeah. Again, I don't want to go too much into it, but this DAO software, we've been in discussion about, like, yeah, something can be made easy, and it can be right there, but really that root level, like, we really do. I agree with y'all that we do need to be building these things, so that they will have the flavor and fit the needs that we have. So. Big ups. Going back to the beginning of this conversation, it is amazing that we have people focusing on different aspects, whether it's education, onaji, whether it's the kilobytes, focusing on bringing people the different sides of ourselves together to make us whole again, whether it's Seedverse, creating those Afrofuturistic. What is the catchphrase? I love it too. Liberation through Afrofuturism. I'm sorry, I'm butchering it, Vaughn. But you're on stage. You can clarify.
Almost there, bro. Afrofuturism powered by cannabis.
Boom! I love it.
Snap.
I love it. Yo, 40 acres.
So
Now, sorry about that.
Oh, my
Please
bad.
go. You're on. Yeah.
No, you were giving everyone big ups. I can go as soon as you're done.
Yeah, quick fast. I'll just wrap it up. Black Web3. I think that this is just so huge. Oh, I do have to give a shout out to Meta Knights, Nest Rock in the building, and everyone who's here. I see that I've got a request and I'm not able to click it. I don't know if someone's really waiting or if it's just what's going on. But just in short, enough love everyone for being here. This discussion on community, what does it mean to us, where do we all fit in? And I think what Black Web3 is explaining is like it's a very nuanced position in the sense of looking for those opportunities and creating opportunities for people to learn. But yeah, as far as Seedverse, last week we went in with Seedverse. Vaughn, please bless us.
Yeah, appreciate you. Much love, Symbolic. And much love to Tech Misfits, Iris, and big ups to Nest Rocks and 40 Acres yesterday for putting us on game with all these grants that are available to our Web3 projects. If you didn't, catch those, please visit 40 Acres and Nest's pages just so you can keep abreast on what's going on and how you can fund your Web3 projects. So, the Seedverse. My name is Trayvon. You guys can call me Vaughn. I'm one half of the Project Seed and Seedverse team, and we are a digital platform that help Black entrepreneurs create sustainable, innovative, disruptive products and services and relationships within the cannabis and hemp industry. So we see cannabis as a new resource, actually an old resource to help us create new innovative ideas. And we want to show our community specifically how us rediscovering the new dimensions of the cannabis plant, the new dimensions of Black culture, how both of them are intertwined, and each when you combine the two, you can get an amazing reflection on to our future. And we call that Afrofuturism powered by cannabis because the future is technology, the future is Black, and the future is cannabis, period.
I love it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. It goes right back to that, like, with people who specialize in certain areas, and we can really look at it to tie back into this holistically the conversation. When we're not present, when women are not present, when our voices, the energy, the passions are not present, it's really not complete. We do not have the optimal what the technology could be. When Black people are not present, when people of color are not present, it just makes things weak. It makes it whack. It's not the fullest of what it can be. So and that's how I think. So now when Seedverse is dropping gems about the fact that the Model T Ford, the Model T had hemp as a part of that vehicle, or that they build it into spaceships. I'm like, whoa, are you serious? That it came with us from the continent. Anyways, I'm going a little too far just to say that just to say that we bring our own. That's why authenticity is so important. We bring who we are and what we care about. Someone else might not be like myself. Like, I'll blaze a ting here and there, but I'm not memorizing everything about the ganja. But when I know I can talk with my people who are like on it, and then who can open my mind to say, just like C did last week in our rooms, it's not just about smoking either. It's about technology. So I think that's how I'm seeing this whole us coming together in our communities. So I'm truly loving it, and I'm feeling blessed by it. And thank you everyone who's sharing in our greater fluid community. I'm seeing that I have requests and I can't even engage with them. I see Hanifa is here.